You've got big, hairy, audacious goals, and you start in on them, everything's going great, and then you kind of fizzle out. It happens to me, it happens to you. We get nervous about changing, we get nervous about our big goals that we have. You want to 5x your business, but how do you do that? You want to go out there and do 100 cold calls a day, but how do you get over the rejection? This is a scalable mental model that you can apply to anything in your life to help you get exactly what you want. We call this the triangle of power. The TOP, baby. And here is exactly how you're going to work it. In this mental model, you are going to connect your conscious mind with your subconscious mind. That's the big thing that's missing in setting goals, because your conscious mind says, we're going to 5x this year. It's going to be fantastic. And meanwhile, your subconscious is like, no, I don't want to do that at all. I don't want to change ever. I don't want to do anything. I think we're perfect exactly how we are. And so there's this fight, cognitive dissonance, as we call it. Here's how we can push that aside and keep barreling forward. So you notice I have a blank sheet of paper here, and I've put 3 rectangles on it. 2 of them are towards the top of the page, one's at the bottom. You can do the same. In the top left one, you're going to write limiting beliefs with a line. Now, as they come up, write down your limiting belief. Now, what is a limiting belief? Limiting belief is anything your brain tells you that gets in the way of you achieving your biggest goals. So that could be a thought, it could be a belief, it could be a productivity that is actually procrastination. It could be, hey, I've got to clean up before I get that done. It could be, oh, they're not going to want to hear from me. It could be, I don't really give value. I'm being salesy. Whatever that is, write down that belief. You're going to start to get a pretty good list over time. What's cool about this list is when you write it down, you do 2 things. First thing is that you become aware of it. And so it's now not automatic anymore. It's something that you can study and examine and hold. It becomes tangible. And that's really, really, really important. The other thing is when you write it down, it loses its power. Limiting beliefs don't have any sort of connection with the outside world. They only have connection with us and our brains. Their only playbook to keeping us safe and sound is to tell us we can't. So when we've put it down on a piece of paper and we say, hey, I know your job, you're doing it well. I've captured the notes. Yep, keep it up. What you've done is you've deflated the power of your subconscious. And then as soon as you're done with that, you go to the right and you stay committed to taking one action that will help you achieve your goal directly in the face of your subconscious. You're not fighting these negative thoughts. You're not having any sort of battle or reframing. You're just saying, noted. Sit down over there. I'm going to stay committed to this one action over here. Now, you can either write down actions as they come up, or I think some of my clients have had a better experience if they jot down basically their to-do list and what they want to do to move the needle in their business. This is the things to put into your action plan. So when you get a limiting belief, I'm not good enough, no one will pay attention to me, I'm salesy, you write down that limiting belief and then you go directly across the paper and you look at one action that you can take right now in spite of that fear. And what you're going to do here next, right before you do that thing, you're going to go down and you're going to write an affirmation about your future self. An affirmation has to have 3 filters for it to be true in your subconscious. Otherwise, it'll get filtered out and be like, nah, that's nonsense to me. Because no one really says live, laugh, love to themselves and then lives, laughs, and loves, right? Our subconscious knows that's not us. So we have to go through these 3 rules of every affirmation to make them stick. First one has to be in a first person. It has to be me or I or my or whatever it is. I have to be the protagonist in my own affirmation. Second, it has to be positively stated, meaning there can't have a no in there or a not or can't or not gonna. I'm not gonna call myself a terrible salesperson. I am not going to smoke cigarettes anymore. No, it's saying I build rapport quickly. or I have healthy lungs. It has to be positively stated like that. The third filter, it has to be in your own voice. I can't tell you what that is, but I have a feeling that you know how you talk to yourself. I know how I talk to myself is kind of like a frat guy from probably the early 2000s, listens to a lot of Outkast and Eminem, probably has frosted tips. Maybe that's where all the hair went. But I say stuff to me like, bro, or dude, you got this. In fact, I even laughed out loud the other day because when I was talking to myself, I started and ended a sentence with dude. It's embarrassing, I know, but it's how I talk to myself. I also call myself bud or buddy, things like that. And so apply your own tone and language and style to your affirmation. Now, what happens when you take an action and then say an affirmation to yourself in spite of that fear is you are telling your subconscious, it's okay, you got this, I'm not fighting you. And while your subconscious is sitting in the corner, you're taking action in the real world. And then you're giving your subconscious a new message that it can hold on to. And remember, you're going to go through 30,000 thoughts a day. Wouldn't you want that affirmation to get into the heavy rotation and stick? That's what we're going for. So this is a scalable mental model that you can apply to any part of your life. I hope this helps you out. Please go out there and dream big. Let me know how you did.